One of the things I wanted to get to B show, which people probably knew we were going to talk about, is what happened with the Friday the 13th series on Peacock.
Ooh.
This has been a very chaotic couple of days here with this story. So the first story broke was that they were pulling it and that it was canceled. That A24 had walked away from the show at Peacock, and that was the initial running story. I think that was Tuesday, possibly. And then it started trickling in B show that we did not get the right information, that the show was not canceled. This is just how these things work. But in fact, the showrunner that they hired to run the show left. Now, some of this is still a little foggy, B show, but I think we have some clarity as to what actually the current situation is with the prequel Friday the 13th show, which was pretty highly anticipated, called Crystal Lake on Peacock.
So Brian Fuller, as you mentioned, who is the showrunner, yes,
Now, before we
confirmed
go
that
any
he.
further, B show, I'm sorry. What is Brian Fuller known for? Like, do we know how he got this gig?
I think he did the Hannibal series.
Oh wow, people really like. I saw some of that and it's great, but I never got into it. But I would love to revisit that because I heard it's hard as balls.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't know if he had anything to do with the Friday the 13th remake movie. I know that was Platinum Dunes, but I know he's done
Mm,
some other things other than Hannibal. But so basically, I'm trying to figure out, and I've got some quotes from him here that we can talk about. But I'm
okay.
trying to figure out if this is really in hot water or if it's not going to happen because this shit happens
Mm,
all the time.
right.
Like a couple years ago, Swamp Thing was supposed to come out on FX or CW, and it was like, oh, it's not canceled. We're just moving it to DC unit, whatever the
I
DC
remember,
app
yeah, the
was,
DC
unlimited.
channel. Yeah, I had that channel. I was paying for that channel. I used to watch
Yep.
Titans on that channel.
And then it ended up coming out on Tubi, and it's not that great. It's okay,
Yeah, it was
but like
pretty shitty.
I wonder if they're gonna like. I wonder if this is a hopeful. Oh shit, we lost a showrunner. This project isn't getting off the ground. Maybe we can keep it going in case we get something to happen. I
Mm,
hope that's not the case. But if it wasn't going to be good, I'd rather them take their time and change shit up, try to get it right.
right. So, what's the final sort of real story at this point, as of today? Because it's also changing. These things do change.
So this is a quote from Brian Fuller. It says, adapting classic horror is something I have some experience with. These shows require a vision that elevates and transforms as well as delivers what audiences have come to expect, which is an ambitious and risky endeavor. It requires people to take a leap with me. When it works, as with Hannibal, the results can be powerful for the storytellers and audience. I couldn't be more proud of the work my co-showrunner Jim Danger Gray and I were able to accomplish with our brilliant writing staff, despite the challenges we faced. For reasons beyond our control,
Oh,
A24 has elected to go a different way with the material. We hope the final product will be something Friday the 13th fans all over the world will enjoy. So this is A24
yeah.
changing direction.
A24 wanted to change direction, and it was, Okay, so he apparently Drew Yari's. He worked on, I think, the Star Trek Discovery show, and he worked on American Gods. American Gods was very good. No one watched it. That based on the Neil Gaiman novel was very, very popular. First season good. Second season a little too 2020-ish. Like it was very messagey, just laden with like modern messages and what all the struggles of whatever's going on right now and things like that. And that's not really was in the book. The book is from the 90s, if not maybe the late 80s. The book is a little old. Are you familiar with the book American Gods?
No, I saw a couple episodes of the TV show and it
It's a good
seemed
show.
cool. I just
It's a cool
never
show.
stuck with
Looked
me.
very expensive.
Mhm.
Again, first season very cool. Second season, I think there was a change. I believe somebody got fired that worked on that show. And then I think there was a story with that too, but I just remember the last bullering through the end of that second season there. And I knew they weren't done telling the story. It looked $1 million. And apparently that Star Trek show was very popular. And he worked on Hannibal. Hannibal was super popular. But now B show, look, we're probably not going to know the real story here. Oh, he did Dead Like Me. I remember Dead Like Me. Orlando Jones got fired? I don't remember that. I remember him because he was like the African god there. Yeah, something happened. There's somebody else got fired, I think, too. I remember there was you felt a sea change in the second season a little bit. Something happened in that show. But if
Hmm.
no one's ever seen it, I recommend it because it looks good and it's a great story. The premise is incredible. I
Yeah, it
don't
doesn't
know.
look cheaply made. Like there's that
Oh
one
God, no,
episode where the
fortune.
chick like swallows the dude up into her snatch, and it's like,
I believe that's
whoa.
Nefertiti. Is it Nefertiti? Not Nefertiti. Yeah, she was the goddess who eats people. She eats you whole. She like you.
Yeah.
She'll let you fuck her, and then right when you're about to finish, she literally eats you. and she consumes you, and that's why she stays the most beautiful. Not it's not Nefertiti. I'm trying to remember who it was. There's so many gods on that show.
Yeah.
You got any god lore. It really exists, and they're coming back. They're sort
Mhm.
of like they've been replaced by technology, media, and all like they've been replaced by those gods. Oh, Jillian, who is it from X Files? Gillian Anderson. She got fired. She
Oh
also got
shit.
fired after the first season. Yeah, there was beef there. There was something going on. It was on Stars. Um, I remember that episode with the slave ship. That was crazy. Oh my God, was that wild? I
Yeah,
forget who.
Stars was a place where like series went to die because that was where Ash versus Evil Dead was, and
Yeah,
right before they announced season 3, they just said Stars couldn't
because
afford to keep
motherfuckers
doing it.
weren't watching it. Because Stars isn't even a channel now. It's called something else. Like it's just. But B show, let me ask you a question. Do we think? I mean, when they say change direction, they obviously mean the guy running the show. They're not happy with what he was doing, so we're going to start over again, right?
Yeah, so like I wonder if because like Adrienne King was signed on for a role on this too, who played Alice in the first one.
Really?
And
Wow.
there was a big thing on Twitter that she was going to be on. She did like interviews with Fangoria and stuff. So it came out with a bang. Hopefully, it doesn't go out with a whimper. But like
Yeah.
to your point, if A24, and we know the quality of A24's work so far, if they weren't keen on what was going on, maybe this is a good sign.
Maybe.
I just hope, I don't know, man. You get this far into a project and then you change showrunners and scrap it and go a different direction. That doesn't sound good, man.
Yeah. I agree. I God only knows what this direction change is. How many different directions can a Friday the 13th prequel? Like, you know what I mean? It's like how many different like what was the bad you got to wonder. It's like, well, what did he want to do that they didn't late A24 stepped in and went, no. Because they're paying the bills, B show at the end of the day. Now, do the B show just to play. Obviously, we're so removed from what's going on, and this is only going to further delay the program. Do we think this will prove to be a bona fide good thing, or something that maybe completely turns the show into something that nobody wants it to be?
It's a toss up because with A24, I want to have faith,
Mhm.
but they also like to do out there stuff.
Right.
So if they're going to take it in a strange, like cosmic, like we're going to explain why Jason can't die, and it's like, nah.
Right.
Or we're going to show him as a victim, and he's a heroic avenger. Like, no, they're fucking.
Jason
It's
has
like,
Asperger's. That's what I think they're
yeah,
gonna do. Yeah.
which fine. He had birth defects. He was hydrocephalic or whatever. But
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Like it's like people saying Magneto was right. It's like no, Magneto's a fucking maniac. Like, yes, he should punish the wicked, but like, not
Mhm.
everyone deserves that fate. Same
Right.
thing with this. Like, Jason's mom was the other side of the coin of Psycho.
Mhm.
It was the opposite things. She was avenging the
Mother
death of
and
her son.
Psycho. Yeah, she was.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was vengeance. I
yeah,
mean,
but it doesn't make her right. She was still
right.
wrong, and then set a bad example for Jason. Vengeance. So I don't know. I could see them doing something like that and trying to give it
Maybe
a new spin, but I don't know, man. It's so hard to tell with A24. I'm
it
hoping
is.
it's good, but I
I'm
don't
hoping
know.
it's good too. I mean, listen, people Friday the 13th is now becoming the thing I think people really want back. Like they're we have a successful Chucky TV show that's wildly popular, right? Probably more popular than they ever even imagined. We've had semi-successful Texas reboot, right? Semi, not really, but to some degree, right? I think we've had Evil Dead, we've had zombies, and I'm just scratching the surface here with all the stuff that's come back for quite frankly. Friday the 13th is Halloween, for the most part. People really were enjoying the comeback there until they weren't. We have Exorcist, we have Omen. I mean, like, we have Aliens coming, we have Predator. It just This is nonstop, dude. It's not fucking stopping. Hellraiser is back.
Mhm.
So where is really the king? Where is really the Mount Rushmore? That's not here, right? And I think because it's been a long time, people are going to be very touchy about if it's good or bad. And also, be show we got new gods. We got Art the Clowns. we got there's newer franchises that people seem to like quite a bit. Talk to Me is going to be a franchise. I'm drawing a blank on some of these other things, but you know what I mean? Like, do we even need? Would you rather not have Friday the 13th back the way it should be, or would you just be happy with it being passive and getting swallowed up behind all these other newer, bigger things?
I look at it the same way I see Star Wars. Like the 3 sequel
Which is
trilogies.
also huge back in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the stuff on Disney Plus has been, as far as I'm concerned, for the most part, subpar. And I would much rather have the existing body of work that I enjoy
mm.
and not really even acknowledge the other shit, because to me it's not the same. So like Chucky really surprised me. So I don't they could surprise us with this. Who would
Yeah,
have thought that after 7 movies and it was played out, that they could say, okay, we're going to do this and lead to 3 very popular seasons of a TV show based on
very
a
popular,
doll
dude.
who is possessed. Yeah.
I mean, it really is. There are people I think that don't even like horror that they like the show.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from that because I don't see crazy horror people talking about it. I see like squares and normies talking about Chucky, like people that have a passive interest in horror. I think are love that TV show. You know, it's too bad they couldn't put that affection behind Ash vs Evil Dead. But
Yeah.
it just didn't draw that kind of people. And I mean, look, Chris Matthews bringing up, we got it Friday the 13th of the Nightmare on Elm Street. It makes me sad. Yeah, I think Friday the 13th is a little bit easier, Chris, because Freddy needs to be Freddy, right? Nobody's going to give a fuck who plays Jason at the end of the day. It's just not a thing. But Freddy carries those movies, a lot of dialogue, the people were conditioned to Freddie's voice, his look. You know what I mean, Bisho? Like people like it's funny, we got an actor upgrade of the highest order when the reboot came, as far as I'm concerned. When what's his face? He was Academy
Jackie Earl
Award
Haley.
Jackie Earl Haley, who I've
Yeah.
been watching a movie since the 70s, right? Because he was Rorschach, and he also was nominated for an Academy Award for a really great movie that escapes my brain. I can't remember it, but he was so fucking good in it. And that's how he got Friday. That's how he got Nightmare and Rorschach, I think, from this Todd Field movie that I'm drawing a blank. But and also Drew's bringing up Chucky's very big in the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I think that's a part of it too. But I feel like that community has always really embraced horror really well, and I think that's been proven. Like that community has always kind of dug sci-fi, horror, comics. In my experience anyway. But we got to upgrade in an actor in Jackie Earl Haley, but he looked terrible and people didn't like the movie.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. Like he's one of the shining points of that remake that they did, was his performance was really
Oh,
good.
he's a great actor, dude.
It was just the effects, I mean, the facial effects, the prosthetic and the CG, it
Yeah,
just
he
was
he
so
looked he looked
off-putting.
like a muskrat, like that was set on fire.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a reason why with some of these movies they don't go for hyper realism, because it just doesn't translate. But
and didn't they turn him babyface like he didn't do any of those things to the kids? Wasn't that the premise? They changed it, right? He wasn't a child molester.
well, no, not to spoil it. They played it off that way to make the
Yeah.
parents look like the bad guys, but at the end when she finds his lair, she finds the Polaroids that
So
he
I've
was
seen
taking.
it since I saw it in theaters. I never
Yeah.
saw it again, ever. I never saw it again. Um, you know, I mean, listen, I think that's what hurts Friday. I think that's what hurts Freddy because who's gonna be Freddy? I mean, like that's the thing. Whereas like you could pull off like I don't know the guy who played Leatherface in the chainsaw that only me, you, and Shaheen liked. You
Oh,
know what
Gunnar
I
Han oh, the new one? Yeah.
mean? Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that guy
I thought you were
is.
saying Gunnar Hansen, everyone
No, I'm
knows who that
saying,
is.
but like I don't know the difference between I don't know who played Jason in the reboot. I don't who it was
Oh,
the
that
guy who
was
played
Derek
Freddy.
Mears. Derek Mears, he's pretty good.
Derek Mears was also in the Hills of Eyes reboot, right? He
And
was
he
the big.
played Swamp Thing in the series too, yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's done a lot, Derek Mears.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, people will say, yeah, Joe Punches is talking Kevin Bacon as Freddy. He said he would do it. I just don't. I don't. I don't see it. I don't know. He's 60 something years old too, dude. Like he's a 65-year-old guy.
Mhm.
But I think that's what hurts. Listen, time is going to tell what's going on with whether or not this showrunner getting bounced hurt or helped the fucking help the program. But it's an odd story, and it definitely puts some red flags on it. Um,
Drew Yari, shut your dirty whore mouth. Dwayne
what do we say?
Johnson is Freddy.
Oh
Don't even
come
put that into the fucking universe,
on.
please.
Oh, that's not going to happen.